one, get 'em!
This week's episode is brought to you by Salt Creek, some of the best steel and TSS on the market, and Kicks Industries. The Smoke Series is my favorite. Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. My name is RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. We are back. We are still alive. You're going to say, what happened? Well, if you missed last week, I got bit by a tick. We're on some medications and doing good. We definitely going to talk about that tonight. Hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. How's everybody doing? So we're stuck in between the season. There's no hunting going on. The only thing that I think you can legally hunt today is maybe a coyote for sure and maybe a beaver. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot that's going on. So it's almost fishing time. So hopefully everybody's ready for vacations. School is almost out. Traffic is going to be cut down. It's almost hurricane season too. So we're going to talk about hurricane. We're going to talk about weather. There's a lot to talk about. So let's get to it. Who's watching the girls' college softball? That kicks off Friday. It's been some really good softball games going on. We're going to see who's going to make the bracket. That's all I know. I'm thinking probably definitely Texas. I don't think my Gamecocks are definitely ain't going to make it. But I'm thinking, it's just me thinking, I didn't do too good in the basketball pick, and I sure didn't do too good in the football, but I'm thinking Texas, maybe UCLA. It's possible on them. Maybe LSU. Let's see who else might be going. Texas Tech definitely. Maybe Ole Miss might have a wild card up in there. Florida's looking pretty good. Tennessee is definitely looking pretty good. So there's some pretty good ones in there. Georgia. I mean, that's a toss-up. It is a toss-up. So if you haven't watched girls softball, I highly recommend it. It kicks off Friday. It's going to go from Friday, I think, to Sunday, pretty sure. So regionals are starting Friday, and then it goes into semifinals, and then like there's a whole week going on. So I like it. I love watching the college softball World Series, but that is definitely kicking off Friday. So if you haven't been watching it, highly recommend it. I always want to know when I'm watching it, I wonder if I could hit one of them softballs. Like, I do think I could probably hit one of the softballs, but how many balls would it take before I could get it? Do I think I would go up there with a 0-0 count and not strike out? No, I don't think so. I would 100% think I would strike out. But given enough time, I think I can make contact. I think. If not, I'd go down swinging like the rest of everybody else. But not a whole lot going on. I know that I talked turkey numbers a couple weeks ago. I think I need to clear up a number on that. I went back and listened, and I couldn't find exactly where it is in the live stream. But the season for South Carolina is completely over. There was 10,591 turkeys taken in South Carolina for 2026. Out of them 10,591, 9,560 were on private land. So it's not that very many on game management. Looking at just harvest reports, the top numbers would be Sumter National Forest, which is massive. Like, it's in many different counties. The Waccamaw River, Wamby. That's Wham. I ain't even pronouncing that right. Wimby. Woo. Bad part is I know where that's at. Woodbury and other unnamed WMAs and Manchester State Forest. That's around Santee. But other than that, the numbers are really bad. The Liberty Hill Game Management, only 9, and that's a massive amount of land. So, but the number that I wanted to clear up was last year's number. I think when I gave the number of us being behind, I think I gave last year and this year total, but last year was 8,881. So, with that being said, we did gain some turkeys. So about 2,000 turkeys that we did gain, roughly. I didn't do the math. So roughly 2,000 turkeys. So last year was 8,127 on private land. This year was 9,000 something. So 1,000 more. Did the not shooting jakes make any difference? It's highly possible. Highly possible. So where's everybody at tonight? We got some slow rollers in there coming in tonight. So 2026 Atlanta or the Atlantic hurricane season. We definitely need to start talking about that. It's never too early to start being prepared for that because it's only a month away. And we have had hurricanes show up before hurricane season. So the Prediction Center, and I like how the Prediction Center is the Colorado State University, which is nowhere near the Atlantic Ocean, has predicted their outcome of named storms. They are predicting 13 named storms. They are predicting named storm days, 55. They are predicting 6 hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes. On average, we have 7.4 major hurricanes, and that was from 1991 to 2020. So, looking like major hurricanes too. Looking like maybe there's going to be something. Where's it come in? Who knows? But with that being said, like I said, hurricane season is right around the corner. Like, it is, this year is June the 1st, beginning of the season. We are already in May, like the 13th. So we're almost halfway through May. June is right around the corner. So that means time to get the generators ready. Time to get the water ready. Time to make sure all your batteries are charged up. Because like I said, we could have one before the season is started. Is it rare? Probably. But it is coming. With that being said, NOAA is announcing their season outcome or their prediction or whatever you want to call it at their conference, and that's going to be May the 21st. So, like I said, it's fixing to get kicked off. So, with that being said, the conference is May 21st. We go straight into June. So what are they going to cover? They're going to cover the names. They're going to cover predictions, where they think all these landfalls might be. So pretty much next week, what 13th and then the 21st, what's that? That's a little bit more than 7 days. Um, maybe 8 days. But be on the lookout for that. Like I said, now's the time to prepare for that. Get that old gas out of the generator. That's something I need to do, is get that old gas out. Look like there's some rain definitely coming. Different parts of the area of the United States, we definitely need it. I'd hate to say we got a good bit of rain, because it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to get us out of so many fire. I wouldn't want to say we're out of the drought, because the fish are still knocking on the front door asking, can they come in and get in the bathtub? But we did get a lot of rain. My mother says, pray for the graduates and their accomplishments as they make choices for colleges for the first time and jobs. So that coming around the corner too, y'all. June is normally graduations. So there's a lot of graduation that's already started. A lot of graduation parties are starting up. Not parties like going out and party, like graduating for the kids. But with that being said, I still did not. If you watched the episode last week, we're going to start with that. If you watched the episode last week, I informed y'all that I got bit by a tick hunting. I still did not gain any superpowers, but look at that. It looks a lot better. That is night and day difference on that. No more nighttime sweats. Hey Jay, welcome back, man. No nighttime sweats. The rash that I had was gone away, and I literally went to the doctor. And just recapping from last week, what they say is a tick needs to be on you for about 24 hours before you get Lyme disease. There's a lot of stuff that goes with Lyme disease. I'm not saying I got Lyme disease. Not saying that. Didn't test because it was already 9 days. But what I will say is, she wanted to give me just the 2 pills, which were a strong antibiotic. But after showing her pictures of the wound over the 9 days, she was like, let's go ahead and just give you the full dosage of 20. I think I have maybe 4 pills left, but it is definitely looking better. But I still didn't get any cool, like, talents. I mean, the tick could have bit me and gave me some, like, better vocabulary, like great speaking terminology. Nah, I didn't get nothing other than a bill and some sleepiness from this antibiotic. But I can officially say I have no more night sweats. So that's a plus. The itching has gone away. The sore's pretty much healed up. But with that being said, I'm still taking it serious. I'm still finishing the antibiotics. Still going to monitor all that because who knows what might show up. But I know the tick wasn't on there for 24 hours because it wasn't on there before I went hunting. So how long was it on there? Hour, 2 hours at max. But I literally took my glove off, moved around in the blind, and then the next thing I know was, ow! And I looked down and there was a tick. Now, out of all the camera stuff that I have, why did I not take a picture of the tick? I don't know. Why did I say, ow, and thump him off and then think, well, you might have should have looked at what tick that was, but I also didn't think about that. I did look. I did try to look to see if I could find that tick, but never did find it. So couldn't tell you what it was. That was bad play on my playbook. I should have at least took a picture first, but it is what it is. But I am just a couple days away from being done with the antibiotic, and I greatly appreciate everybody that's called, emailed, or texted and prayed for me. Saw something move on the camera over there. Been seeing a lot of deer lately. A massive amount of deer. So I don't know if they're out. Hey, they're probably out looking for water. But with that being said, the camera action of deers has picked up greatly. Also want to remind y'all that if you haven't been following me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, RD Reynolds Outdoors. That way you can see about other events, videos, in case I end up in YouTube jail again or whatever. But you can follow along for that content too. The past 2 days, I have reloaded about 200 plus holes. We're not going to call them the real name, but I have reloaded about 200 plus holes. So a good mini 28 gauge. That's a good mini. So there's going to be some, now that there's no turkey season, I will definitely be upgrading, or not. I can't really publish videos until June and then July for sure, but I haven't forgot about y'all. I still got videos. I still got content. Fine line at the moment with strikes, and I don't want another strike, because just like baseball and softball that I was talking about earlier, 3 strikes you're out, and I'm not trying to be on the bench. So I want to continue to talk from the boat. So if you ain't seen no videos lately, it's not that I don't know how to record them. I still know how to record them. I'm just taking it and treading very lightly. Now, the first person that says I'm trying to do anything light at 240 pounds, that's not fair. But I'm trying to tread lightly. Like I said at the beginning, we're in between seasons. Fishing has officially kicked off. My son has been on a mission to beat his PB. And if y'all don't speak really young age or new age terminology, PB is personal best. There's a lot of new, I'm not going to say slang, but just their words. And we had our own words back in our day too, of words that already mean other words. But he is trying to catch the monster fish out in the pond. So he's been making a lot of content. We've been doing a lot of fishing so far, but soccer season is almost to come to the end. And after soccer season, we are definitely hitting out water harder. So there will be some fishing content coming up, and hopefully he can beat his PB. But one thing he can't beat is the expert. He tries to beat me every time, and I wear him out. And people's going to say, don't you think it's not fair? Nah, that joker can fish. I think you should let him. Nah, you let him fish and you put your rod down, he will outfish you. I can promise you. That joker is pretty dangerous. Now, you give him a bait caster, you will have some fish and a bird nest, and you will spend most of your time restringing a fishing rod. But you give him an open face reel, and he will put some fish on the bank. But he still can't beat his old man. But that day will probably come to ahead one day when I keep letting go of some of my secrets, but can't keep them all. So I'm going to show y'all some upcoming rain because we definitely need it. Georgia needs it too. So this is tropical tidbits. I always use this site. I love the site. If you wanting to know about what didn't mean to click that one. Well, I lost my screen there. That's something I'm going to talk about later. But I lost my screen. I moved it somewhere. There we go. But what was I saying? You ever had squirrel moments? Did the tick give me squirrel moments? Now, if you've been following this channel, I had that long before. Long before ever creating this channel. So let's try that again. So, tropical tidbits. So, middle of the country, Georgia, over the next couple of days are definitely going to get some rain. So this is the date right here that you want to look at. This is what they forecast it to be. So it updates 4 times a day. May 13th at 11 a.m. Obviously, we already passed that. We're closer to the 8 p.m. one. There is a little chance of some rain coming into the top part of Georgia and South Carolina tonight, but much needed rain out west. Again, doesn't look, which is very, very good, does not look very tormatic in the middle of the country for tornadoes. Not a whole lot over the next couple days, but when you fast forwarded it to like the 16th, the rain chances definitely pick up. The 17th looks really good for some rain, especially in the middle of the country. Now, we need some of that rain. The farmers are really struggling right now, especially in South Carolina, too. They're pretty much planting in like some of the driest conditions ever. Right here on the 18th is looking real good for all the East Coast. Right here on the nighttime of the 18th. Now, again, when I say the 18th, that's about 5 days out. 5 days out, it could either speed up or slow down. I don't take time with a grain. I take it with a grain of salt that it could either speed up or slow down. So the further I go out, it could be a day or two off, but it's pretty close. This line going through Texas could be tormatic at times. So that's something we'll pay attention to. But I did notice closer to the 21st, South Carolina, North Carolina is definitely going to get some rain. And then the 22nd, definitely looking like some rain. But that's what I'm really looking forward to. Man, Georgia and South Carolina so need that. And that's going to be on the 24th. That's still a good many days away. Like I said, that's supposedly not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday. But that could speed up a day or slow down a day. But man, I hope that model don't change because that is much needed rain. Much needed, especially Georgia, man. They got a lot of fires still going on down there. Being 2 p.m. and then 8 p.m. going on into the nighttime, man, I just hope that comes through. Then the 25th, it picks back up again. Look at that. How great would that be? Much needed. We need to definitely pray over that we get some rain. But see, the camera over there already went into nighttime mode. But there's not a whole lot to talk about tonight. I got some guests in the works. Like I said, it's kind of hard at the moment to talk anything about hunting because you're just like the rest of us. We're not doing it. So uh, now is a good time to start preparing for dove season. Uh, should you have already had your sunflowers in the ground? Maybe. Would it have paid off maybe before the rain? Maybe. Wheat? I don't know. I normally don't plant my wheat this early because usually it comes up and it burns out really, really quick. Um, and so far, we haven't had a whole lot of rain. Now, what might happen over these next couple of days, knowing this, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be watching the weather soon, but dove season is in September. Like I said, we're already halfway through May, June, July, August, September. That's 4 months. A lot of people has already started preparing for dove season. I know a lot of people that's already started planting. I know people that's already got their seeds for their sunflowers in the ground 2 weeks ago. It's always a gamble. Which one you going to take? Me, I'm going to wait a little bit for my millet and wheat. Uh, I think it's just a little too early, especially dry. I don't even know if my disc out there on my tractor would even cut through the ground. It literally might just bounce across the ground. I mean, and two, as dry as it is, if something did come up, I definitely don't want it to catch on fire. So, what will y'all do? Jaybird, y'all got any dove field started yet? I know Jay and his family normally start a pretty decent dove field. Um, Georgia probably looking worse than South Carolina. Now, granted, I know they got some rain, but at the moment, there would probably be so much dust with planting. If your tractor didn't have GPS, I don't even know if you would be able to stay in the rows. That's how dusty it probably is. And if you didn't have a cab, um, that'd be rough. That'd be very, very, very rough. Um, I know it takes a little bit for him to, takes about 20 to 30 seconds for me to talk and y'all to get the message. That's how much of a delay it is. But I'm sure when Jay finally hears me, Jay, are y'all gonna plant this year? Y'all gonna hunt somewhere else this year? Or is it gonna be kind of like turkey season? We just gonna go buy our meat at the grocery store? Because you know what? That's probably not a bad idea. Just just stay at home. Sunflowers and millet planted and spray. See? I might have to come down there and hunt with Jay. Wouldn't be the first time I ever hunted with Jay. Now to mention it though, I'm not sure if I ever seen him shoot. Well, at wing passing, like wing shot as a sportsman. I have seen him shoot skeet. He's a pretty decent on skeet, but is he a true wingsman? I don't know. He probably misses like the rest of us. But this year, I am definitely hunting dove with my 28 gauge. Uh, I'm looking forward to the lower recoil, uh, and I will be saving about a quarter of an ounce every time I pull the. Well, no, it'd be more than a quarter of an ounce because the dove lows are 3/4 of an ounce, and I shoot 1 1/8 ounce. So I'm going to be saving on pellets every time I pull the trigger and shoot behind them. So I'm going to have a surplus this year of ammo. Join the dove club. I got you. I need to join a turkey club is what I need to join. Heck, I probably just need to grow my own turkeys. You know, go down to Tractor Supply and get some turkeys and like shoo them off into the woods. Because I don't even know what a turkey looks like. That's not true. I did see turkeys this year. I take that back. Forgive me. I did see a lot of turkeys this year. A lot of hens. I had one hen that came out every single time I went. I think she just come out to say nana nana boo boo, and I really hope her pullets are doing good. I hope that she has a lot of pullets and they all survive, because that'd be great for me in return. But yeah, how was everybody's Mother's Day? I know my mama had a pretty good Mother's Day. First time she ever went to Top Golf. She's been wanting to go to Top Golf. She's into trying new stuff, and the past couple of weeks we have tried new stuff with her. She has rode the light rail up in Charlotte, and we played Top Golf, and she had a blast. The kids had a blast. Beautiful weather, so hopefully everybody had a good Mother's Day. But that's about all I got going on. Uh, I'm still alive. Still alive and kicking. No superpowers yet, but maybe. I'm still holding out hope. But I'm not dead. I still around. Got a purpose to make. We're still trying to learn that purpose. 4 hunts total. 3 of them I was calling for somebody else. Yeah, Jay's a big turkey hunter. How many did your boys end up with? Jay work did not line up too good with his schedule this year. The outage took him out of the game, but hopefully they get all that worked out, Jay, before waterfowl season. Y'all, your wife and your mother had a good one. That's great. That's good to hear. You know, it's a blessing that to have a Mother's Day. Mother's Day was really busy. Mother's Day is always busy, but that means something. That means my kids still have a mother, my wife has a mother, and I still have a mother. So yes, it is busy trying to get everything in order, trying to make sure everybody has a good Mother's Day, but that means your mother's still alive. So take the busy days over still having a mother, because we ain't promised tomorrow for any of us. He was on that outage too. Man, y'all gonna have to get like some sick notes or something. Like maybe I need to become a doctor and I could write y'all out like the whole month of March and April. There would have to be a fee on that prescription though. You know, I could be a doctor, because a doctor, they don't put their grades on the door. They ought to have that like a restaurant. Like, when you go into a restaurant, A, B, C, was that doctor a 70? Did he make just enough 1 point to be over? Or is he a 99 or 100? We need some kind of grading on these doctors. Like, did they just barely get by? I don't know. So I still got my worms. So hopefully if y'all recall, probably a month ago, I talked about giving away fishing worms, rubber worms, and they have a verse on it. Obviously, it's got the little Jesus beside it. That is definitely ready to be kicked off. Why? Because it's fishing season. I don't have the papers with me, but there's papers that go on each one that says, hey, these worms have been prayed over for you. They mean something. You mean something. and the little Jesus is going to be glued to them, and it's going to be handed out at the boat ramps and stuff like that. So, will there be videos? I may take some, but I don't want that to be the focal point or the focus point of why I'm doing it. I've said a dozen times we need to meet the people where they are in life, and they are at the boat ramp, and we need to meet them at the boat ramp. And this is a perfect opportunity to meet them, take that, throw it in their tackle box, and every time they pull it out, they think of what somebody gave them. They can read it. So it's just a little something I'm doing. Hopefully it takes off. Something you could do, especially with your kids. Go to whatever store there is. Let your kids pick them out. My son picks out a lot of the rubber worms. He gets into it. He knows the purpose behind it. Like I said, pray over them and hand them out. It's an easy talking point. That's easier. If you don't even like to talk, you can hand stuff out. It's that easy. The last thing I want to talk about before I call it a night, I made a video the other day talking about the Israelites, and I thought, I said it before. I'm like, them Israelites are some crazy people. Like, they just were not smart. It took them 40 years to walk maybe 300 miles in the desert. 40 years. And in that video that I made, I just make a short video of me just walking in circles. But the point of it was, I'm in my 40s now. And I look back and I'm like, wow, how many times did I walk in circles? Hey, I don't even have majority of it figured out. How many times have I messed up? I ain't no different than them Israelites. But when I was younger and read about the Israelites, I'm like, man, they just couldn't get it together. Well, guess what? We can't get it together neither. Which brings me into the topic point of today. So, after talking about the Israelites and getting bit by a tick, made me think. It just light bulb. So, in the book of Numbers, the Israelites are walking around in the desert. They are complaining like they pretty much have been since they got free from Egypt. So they complaining about food, they complaining about walking around, and God pretty much gets tired of it. And he lets serpents go. What is a serpent? A snake. Some type of a serpent, something in a snake form. And they go through the camp and they bite people. And that made me think of the tick and the Israelites. Because the serpents went through and bit the people. And then the people realized, oh man, we were complaining. Like, we messed up. What did they do? They went to Moses and said, hey, we messed up. We've been sinning. I am so sorry. Please do something. Moses talks to God. God tells Moses what to do. Okay, Moses, take a rod and put a serpent on it. And I want you to go and put it on a hill. And the verse pretty much goes like this. It's chapter 21, verse 8. The Lord said to Moses, make a snake, put it on a pole, and if anyone who is bitten can look at it and live. So Moses took and made a bronze stake, put it on a pole. Then anybody who was bitten by a snake and looked at the bronze snake lived. So this was well before Jesus ever came to earth. This was definitely BC. There's a lot going on here. You had a serpent who bit the people who realized that they sinned and had to ask for forgiveness, which then looked up for life. this also relates to Jesus. And it talks about that later on in John, comparing it to his own crucifixion. There we go. See, the tick didn't give me any super speaking powers. Just like Moses lifted the serpent up. The serpent was in the garden. God had to send his son to rescue us, to lift him up on a pole, on an old wooden cross, for people to look up at for healing. And if we look up to him for healing, we will be saved, just like the Israelites. So I thought that was interesting. I got to thinking, hey, I got bit by a tick. Was it for something I did sinning wise? I'm not saying that. Do I sin? Absolutely, just like everybody else. We do not live a perfect life, but there was one man who came and lived a perfect life for us to cover all the sins that man did. But relating to that serpent and that rod is very interesting. I can't say for sure this is where it came from, because I definitely was not born 3,000 years ago. If you go back and you look at that serpent and you look at that rod, next time you riding around and you see some ambulances, some EMS, take a look at their logo. Can't say that's where that came from, because I didn't design the EMS logo. Well before me. A lot of people like to say the EMS logo goes back to ancient, like Rome, Greece, time period. But I can tell you this, and I am no theologian. I barely can read half of the stuff in the Bible. But I can tell you this, Moses put that serpent on that stick because God told him to, well before the rod of whatever in Greece goddess that they came up with. But if you look at the EMS and you do some background history on it, it takes you back to healing of a serpent if you look up at it. So next time you see an EMS, there's two types of serpents on snakes. A lot of times with the doctors, you see two snakes. Sometimes they have wings. That's a whole different one. I'm talking about the single rod and the single serpent. Are they related? One day we may find out. But I can tell you one thing. The man who came and put himself on that cross, that definitely happened. And he done it for me and you, so that we can have eternal life. So this week, that's all I got for you. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. Got 2.5 more days of antibiotics. So until then, y'all stay safe. I got videos to make. And let's close this in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for what you do for us. Thank you for not pushing us away, just like the Israelites. How many times they messed up over and over and over again. Thank you for allowing the Israelites to even make it to their destination. I know some of them didn't make it. I know some of them never got to see what you were trying to give them. You tried to give us blessings on top of blessings. And our path of walking in circles, a lot of times we miss them blessings. A lot of times we just miss the blessings because we're walking in circles. But you give us something to look up to. And I greatly appreciate it. I thank you for sending your son to die on this cross. I thank you for what you do in my life. I thank you for sending a doctor who knew what prescription to give me. I thank you for letting me know that, hey, there's something wrong with my body. I need to at least go see a doctor. I could have just went to sleep and not woke up. But each day you provide, just like the Israelites. You provided then, you're providing now. Just like you provided manna to them, I 100% believe you still got the recipe and you still provide. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much for the rain that you sent us this week. Let us get some more. Be with the people that's having to be out in the heat. Be with our military overseas. Protect them, keep them safe. Be with the military families that here. Keep them safe so that our military don't have to worry about their family. And thank you for what you do for us. Amen. So until next Wednesday, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be safe.
Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC.